if there was water in the ditches, which kept treatment plants, you know, even though they have to work like crazy to clean it up.
Good morning. I'd like to call the TUD regular board meeting Tuesday, January 24th to order. And Director Bill Bragg, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, public forum. We'd like to welcome the members of the public who have taken the time to attend this meeting and provide comments on matters related to district business. Any member of the public may address the board relating to any matter within the board's jurisdiction. This need not be related to any item on the agenda. However, the board cannot act on an item unless it was noticed on the agenda. Persons speaking during the public comment will be limited to 5 minutes. Depending on the number of persons wishing to speak, it may be reduced to allow all members of the public the opportunity to address the board. Are there any members of the public who would like to address us?
Hi, I'm on the phone. I'm sorry. Hi, this is Michael Allen. I am having an impossible time understanding the conversation. Phone is not clear. I have a very, very good phone, but I can't understand what is being said.
Well, not much we can do about it right now, Michael.
Sorry, it's recording. I can't hear you right now. There we go. Got it.
I just, when it's appropriate, when the time is appropriate, I would like to share an idea with the board.
Go ahead.
I conserve water tremendously. I'm using about 6% of the allotment, monthly allotment. And my idea is to give people more an incentive to save water by having a structured pricing policy. The more water that is used, the higher the amount that they pay. Right now, there just isn't that incentive. There is no incentive. I have neighbors washing their cars, 3 cars 2 times a week, and they don't go over their water allotment. I really save water. I take military showers. I'm a Vietnam vet. When I take my shower, I turn the water off, soap down, shampoo, shave, turn the water on. My shower water is on less than 2 minutes. I think because of the water shortage in California, we should be really concerned with having people conserve water. And one way is through pricing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. We can't comment on this. It's not an agendized item, Mr. Allen, but we appreciate your comment. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
How do we get it? How can we get it on the agenda in the future?
Don, you want to go over the process?
Well, it's up to the board president, meeting with the general manager to set the agenda. Of course, any director can go through to the board president if they have decided to have something put on the agenda.
Okay, I didn't understand, but maybe I'll call during the week, call TUD, and see about getting this on the agenda. Is that possible to do that?
Sure, you can call in. You bet.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. You have a good day, gentlemen. Thank you.
You too.
Thank you.
Anybody else, Corey?
That is it.
Okay, we'll go ahead and close the public forum. Item number 2, consent calendar.
Okay, item number 1, minutes of the regular board meeting of January 10th, 2023. And item number 2, investment report as of December 31st, 2022.
Any director want to pull any of these items? Any comments? Steve, you got any comments about that? Okay. All right, we'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve.
First, second.
First by Director Bailey, second by Director Regan. Any other comment? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes 4-0. Regular business, Melissa?
Okay, item number 3, consider adopting a resolution authorizing the submission of a Department of Water Resources Urban Drought 2022 Small Utility District grant proposal for the Phoenix Lake dredging and bypass pipeline project and the sediment basin and wetland enhancement project. That's a mouthful.
Emily?
Hello. So pretty sure everyone knows me here, but anyone attending virtually, I'm Emily Long, External Affairs Specialist here at the district. I would like to present a staff report for the board to consider a resolution authorizing staff to submit a grant application for the 2022 Urban Community Drought Relief Program funded through the Department of Water Resources for the Phoenix Lake Dredging and Bypass Pipeline Project and the Sediment Basin and Wetland Enhancement Project. In November of 2022, district staff was directed to seek grant funding for projects that will further restore and preserve Phoenix Lake. The DWR Urban Community Drought Relief Program has been identified as a potential source of funding that would fit well with the Phoenix Lake projects. The grant supports projects that provide an immediate drought response, projects that enhance local supply and climate resilience through source watershed improvements, and projects improving water supply reliability. So the district proposes submitting one grant proposal, and in that grant proposal, there'll be 2 projects to further restore and preserve Phoenix Lake. The first one is the dredging and bypass pipeline project. The second project is the sediment basin and wetland enhancement project. The dredging and bypass pipeline project, just to give you a quick synopsis of it would consist of installing a bypass water pipeline to provide water delivery during dredging activities and would improve water quality during times of drought and emergencies. Additionally, approximately 272 cubic yards of sediment would be dredged out of the south and east pools of the lake. The second project is the sediment basin and wetland enhancement project, which consists of installing a sediment capturing basin at the boot of the lake, which will reduce the amount of future sediment deposits, protecting the capacity of the lake as well as the overall health of the lake. And as part of this project, a wetland habitat would be established. So I've been working closely with Gadiel and Eric to prepare a comprehensive grant submission package, and what is before the board today is whether or not to authorize our general manager to submit the grant application in the amount of $23,461,821 to cover the cost of these projects. There is a cost share of 25%, but the district has identified the area of benefit as a disadvantaged community. So if received, we would have the cost share waived. But if it is rejected for any reason, then we would have a cost share of approximately $5.8 million. If we were to receive a grant funding award requiring a local match, we would bring the item back to the board for discussion. So I'm happy to answer any questions that anyone has about the grant opportunity, and then Danielle, has offered to help with any questions regarding the actual projects.
Any director have any comments?
I don't on the grant. I'm just happy that we're moving forward on that, so that's good. But I do have a question for Gabrielle. Couple of questions. Why is it listed as 2022?
The grant was, the notice of funding opportunity came out in October of 2022, so everything's labeled 2022. And that's our proposal. It's even in the proposal later. It's a requirement.
Excuse me, I think Ron's still.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Ron, I didn't mean to jump. No, you're asking about the grant, right? Yes. Go for it. And then in the description, it seems like two projects under the same grant application?
Yes.
Two grant applications.
So it's one proposal, and then we split them up into two different projects because the pipeline goes along with the dredging. We need the pipeline to supply water while we're dredging, and then the other one's separate because it's more with the boot and the wetland enhancement.
Thank you. Okay, my concern is, question is about the sedimentation basin in the boot. How is that going to be cleaned up? What's the access going to be? How's it going to be able to be cleaned out? And then I guess my other concern is how why we're going to be dredging that area, although I know most of it is wetland preservation, but the cost to do that is going to be huge, and we're going to get almost no water for it.
Okay, so first question was how we're gonna clean out the sedimentation basin in the boot if we build it there. The project hasn't been designed yet, number one, so we have options to address that issue. The issue that we basically pretended like we were doing for now, the issue that the way we're addressing that ideally right now is to access that area of the lake from Lakeside Drive. And the grant application includes acquiring easements across private property from the road into the basin.
That's what I was afraid of. Are we going to be able to get those easements?
Well, we have several property owners that have said that they're willing to work with us. And that's all I know. It's something that we need to do in order to build the sedimentation basin over there. And what was your second question?
Why we're going to dredge that a portion of the boot when we're going to get almost no water out of it?
Yeah. First of all, this is up to your board. Even if we get the grant money, your board does not have to accept the grant money. And you're going to want to consider all of that when you decide whether or not to sign a grant agreement for that project. Yeah, we discussed kind of benefits and costs of these projects before with you guys and with the watershed committee, pointing out that, yeah, you're absolutely right. We're not getting very many acre feet of water, and we are paying sort of a lot of money for that project. There are other benefits. We are capturing sediment coming into the lake with this. So it's really up to your board to we try to objectify the cost benefit ratio as much as we can, but some of it's subjective, and your board is going to have to make those decisions when the time comes. For now, the decision that we're making is whether or not to apply for this grant with this project.
I understand that, and like I said, I'm happy to see us moving forward on that, but I didn't know how obligated we would be once we got the grant to go through with what the grants were for, and we just stated a minute ago that we could just give that portion of money back if we weren't going to do it. Because the other concern that I have is that if we dredge that boot, we're not going to get very much water out of the deal. If we put that rest of it under a wildlife preservation thing, are we going to have to pay to do that? And then if the property owners, what we're doing is we're improving the property owners' value of their land. And if they don't want to give up the property that goes into the boot, then I would be very reluctant to want to move forward on that, because once again, it's the ratepayers that are paying the freight and doing the work, and we're improving somebody else's property values. So, said my piece.
You got some question?
Yeah, for the wetlands improvement, and I would slight disagree, because I really believe the more we enhance water quality, which wetlands does actually do filtering and whatnot, that it benefits our whole built environment as well. But anyway, in addition to property values, but in the restoration compilation, Phoenix Lake restoration and preservation, the wetlands was part of the goals, was to help enhance that aspect. But my question is, if we do this wetlands thing, is that, was that part of the, of what Sally Rose had mentioned, the donated property for easements? Does this include seeking that relationship?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great, thank you. I have no further questions.
David, you explain.
Gail, how much of a increase in water storage would there be? Is there any, I mean, obviously, is that equal to the amount being dredged, would be the increase in water storage?
169 acre feet.
Is
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, is that what you're asking?
Right.
How much storage?
That's
And you're
it.
asking about both projects being
Yes.
built, 169 acre feet.
Hey, I'm not sure that I heard the answer.
169 acre feet.
169.
169.
And what about water quality improvements, for doing this dredging? Will there be any future improvements to remove any future, sediment from the boot area? i.e., would there be a pipeline down that, you know, some sort of valley area that could be easily cleaned out in the future?
Yes. The boot project includes a sedimentation basin at the toe of the boot. You know, let me go ahead and pull up a map that I have. I think that'll help. Bear with me 1 minute.
Marvin, there's the two rooms, only the sediment out, so that, you know, if we get within the sediment basin, we wouldn't have to worry about the boot that just keep moving and silt up. Not the lake. It would be good if you got some water on it.
It would be good if we prevent the silt from adding more to the, I don't know, so.
Yeah, don't do it until your screen is started.
All right.
Can you see it?
No, not yet. Warming up.
Forget about it. Well, that's not working very well. So hopefully that comes up. The boot project includes a sedimentation basin, and it also includes acquiring easements to be able